Buongiorno, good morning, buonasera, good evening, whatever part of day it is, welcome to Italy. Today I'm going to read to you just part of the book, A Visit to Italy. I'm going to take you across the ocean, across the Atlantic Ocean to that little yellow country that looks like a boot. That's Italy. But before we start that, I want you to think about, what do you remember Mrs. Amy read? What did she read to you? Mexico. So what do you remember about Mexico? One way to recap is to look back at the table of contents. Remember how she went through and showed us that it was going to be organized by topics, grouped into chapters. That's the same way that the information is organized for Italy. It's based on their topics and grouped into chapters. So if I wanted to find out about the food in Italy, I would go to page 12. If I wanted to know about the food in Mexico, I'm going to go down and I'm going to look at page 22. I'm just going to show you a little recap from last time. Looking at this, I can see that there's lots of different spices that they used. They created different foods like pozole, enchiladas. They use lots of different cheese and different things to make like tacos. We'll find out that Italy has different styles of food as well. Okay, let's begin. A visit to Italy. Italy is in southern Europe. On a map, it looks like a boot sticking out into the Mediterranean Sea. Sicily and Sardinia are islands that are part of Italy. About 150 years ago, different areas joined up to make Italy. There are still two places inside Italy that are not part of it. They are the Vatican City and San Marino. The Arno River flows through the city of Florence. I've heard of Florence before. Florence, Italy. Next is the land. Most of the land in Italy is mountains or hills. These have only thin soil. Farming is difficult here. Many plants cannot grow in thin soil. In the south of Italy, it can be very hot and there is very little rain. The highest mountains are in the north. Some mountains have snow on them all year round. That's similar to the Rocky Mountains. There are areas where we have snow all year round. Landmarks. One of Italy's most famous buildings is the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It is over 800 years old. There are 294 steps to the top of the tower. And no, I am not holding the book sideways. That is really the way that book is showing it. Oh, now I can see it straight. It really is a leaning building. The Vatican City is like a small, separate country inside Rome. It is the home of the Pope. There are lots of beautiful works of art by famous artists here. The Pope is the leader of the Catholic Church. I think I can figure that out just by using the glossary at the back of the book. I can see that the Pope is the head of the Roman Catholic Church. Oh, there you go, right in the middle. I'm going to read that caption at the top. This statue was carved over 500 years ago by a sculptor called Michelangelo. Definitely heard of Michelangelo. Very famous artist. Homes. Most people in Italy live in towns or cities. The city of Naples grew up around a busy port. People left the countryside to come to Naples for work. The port is where all the boats can come in to dock before they come in on land. In the country, most houses have a small area of land around them. People can grow food for themselves or to sell. It's really beautiful there. Looks like they still have some beautiful hills that are like mountains back there. And here is the food. Many families enjoy eating together. For lunch, they might eat cold meats with salad, pasta, bread, and cheese. Maybe that looks similar to what your family might sit down to. Maybe not. This pizzeria is in Rome. Many delicious foods come from Italy. Pizzas first came from Naples, but now most towns have a pizzeria. You can watch the pizzas being made there. Clothes. Many famous fashion designers come from Italy. Young people usually wear casual or sports clothes. That's similar to us, right? In the countryside, people wear simple clothes. Some of the older Italian people always wear black. That's interesting. And finally, work. This farm in Sicily is growing oranges. Some people work on farms. They grow wheat, fruit, and vegetables. Many workplaces close in the middle of the day because it is so hot. In central and southern Italy, many people work in shops and offices. Most of Italy's factories, where they make products such as cars or engines, are in the north. And that's all we're going to read today about Italy. So I'm going to ask you a little bit about what you just read with me, and I want you to write it down in your notebook or wherever it is that you've been doing your homework to submit into Schoology for your teacher. So I just came up with 2 quick questions, pretty simple. Hopefully you can read that. The first one is, how is the information organized in this book, Italy? When you go to write your answer, it's good to have a complete statement or sentence. So I just created this for you so you can help yourself. The information in the book, Italy, is organized by, and then you're going to tell me how. And secondly, how do you relate to the country of Italy? Maybe your family and heritage is from Italy, you're Italian. You might want to ask your parents. Maybe you are Italian, maybe not. Or maybe you just really appreciate some of the things that you heard in the book. Like, for instance, one of my favorite things about Italy, I just happen to know, is that they love coffee. They love cappuccino. I also know they love pizza. Ooh, there's my pizza, which during quarantine has turned out to be like a new food group for me. I eat it most days. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed the first half of the book, A Visit to Italy, and buona giornata. Have a nice day.